One of the questions I'm getting asked on a regular basis is, what do I think about the 2023 market for the world of mortgage broking? What does 2023, what does next year look like for a mortgage broker? And do I believe next year will be a challenging one for a mortgage broker? My response is always the same, that it's not every year a challenge for a mortgage broker. We start the year, we get through the year, we dig deep, and we come out the other side. That is a daily, weekly, monthly, annual grind of being a mortgage broker. That's what it is. However, 2023 could be slightly different, will be slightly different. And what I wanted to do is just give an overview of my take on the 2023, but then also drill down and look at 3 points, 3 things that I believe must happen for you as a mortgage broker, for 3 actions that you should be taking in 2023 in order to continue to grow, in order to build that successful mortgage broker business that you've set out to achieve. So yeah, let's just get into that podcast. You're listening to the Mortgage Broker Broadcast with me, Craig Skelton, the podcast which helps mortgage brokers at all stages of their mortgage broking career. Hi and welcome back to the Mortgage Broker Broadcast. What I wanted to do this week is, one of the questions that I'm asked on a regular basis is about the 2023 market. Next year, what does it look like? What do I think about it? And all the rest of it. And one thing that you've always got to remember as a mortgage broker is that the market is the market. It's how you maximize its potential, how you maximize what you want to achieve, how you grow and how you sustain, and how you build that successful mortgage broker business that you set out to achieve. And I think the thing is, with regards to mortgage broking 2023, everybody will have different opinions. Everybody's going to have their own thoughts, takes. People are going to draw from the past. People are going to think about things that's happened in the past. But as a mortgage broker, you cannot influence the market. So you've just got to dig deep. You've got to be resilient as you are and make sure that you're maximizing those opportunities. I'm going to come on to 3 points around that. But with next year, I think there's several things to look at with regards to the 2023 market. The first thing is that there will be less mortgage brokers in the market than there was in 2022, 2021, because you've got an influx of mortgage brokers who have joined the mortgage broking world with their CMAP 1 in their hand, joined during the pandemic, started during the pandemic. Firms were actively recruiting. The gates were open for mortgage brokers to join firms. However, there was a lot of over-promising, under-delivering. There continues to be that now. So if you're a mortgage broker, new career, new start out, and you've been over-promised, under-delivered, you're going to start to have a wobble anyway. But then if you've not got that support, if you've not got that help and have that confidence that you feel supported, then at the first wobble, you might more than likely to give it in. If you've not got that persistence and drive and motivation to make this work, if you're not supported in a challenging market, then you are going to leave. And I'm already seeing mortgage brokers who have joined the industry, CMAP 1 in the hand over the past couple of years, who are now leaving the industry, going back to what they know, going back to their previous roles and careers that they had, and left the mortgage broker world. So that's one thing you've got to think about, is that there will be less mortgage brokers in the mortgage broker world next year. The second thing to think about that is that there is a need more than ever before for financial advice, for mortgage advice. So you've got less brokers offering advice and more clients needing that advice. And then wrapped around all that is lenders want to lend money. So unlike the previous recessions, and I had the joys of being a mortgage broker working in this world, 2007, 2008, lenders didn't want to lend at that particular time. So you've got less clients and you've got less lenders wanting to lend, whereas that is totally different right now. So we thrived then as a business, we then thrived as mortgage brokers, we thrived as a team in those challenging times. And with the thing with, like I said, wrapped around all that is that lenders still want to lend. So you've got less brokers, more need for brokers, and lenders wanting to lend, which means that actually 2023 can be great for mortgage brokers, will be great for mortgage brokers, the ones that do dig in, the ones that do have resilience and continue to grow, continue to thrive, and continue to build their mortgage broker business. So the three things I want to look at with regards to this is, the 3 points I want to look at is more clients, which I'll come on to, is then more products and better service for those clients, and then lastly, retaining those clients. So I want to look at those three things. So we're looking at the first point, more clients. Well, Craig, that's pretty obvious. If you've got more clients, you will have more business, you will earn more income, you will build that business. However, what I don't want to get confused with is more leads, more clients. Those are two very different things. Now, there will be less leads than there has recently in the mortgage broking world. There is, when you look at Google right now, there is a 40% down on previous months with keyword searches and things like that across Google. So there is less people searching. When you look at Google ads, you're having to pay more for leads as well. When you're looking at the auction price and things like that. And I'm not going to get confusion and get into jargon about that today. So there are less leads in the mortgage broking world, but there were more leads before. But what I'm saying is that you've got to look at your conversion of lead to client. And what I mean by client is when you've done your fact find, when you're now doing your research, when you're trying to place that case and submitting that mortgage application, that is a client. So don't get confused with a lead and a client. And what I'm saying by more clients is when it's a tough time and you have less leads, you will maximize the opportunity. You will follow it up until that client tells you to F off and go away, which is what I always talk about. When there are less leads in the market, brokers, the skilled brokers, will continue their contact strategy to make sure that they're making the most out of that lead. So they will be calling them 3 times, they will be withholding them, but they will be WhatsApping them, emailing them, messaging them, texting them, all those sorts of things to making sure that they follow up. So what I'm seeing by more clients is actually that more clients. I'm not talking about more leads. I'm talking about there will be less leads in the market, but you've got to maximize the opportunity to generate more clients. So your conversion of lead to client needs to improve, and that has to improve in the current market. So that's one thing to work on, which I know is pretty obvious, but it's not for a lot of people. So I'm not, like, as I said, I'm not talking about more leads, I'm talking about more clients. Clients need brokers, less brokers in the market, less leads. So you just need to make sure you're maximizing those leads and turn them into clients. So that's one point, with my first point with regards to the 3 points. The second one is more products per client. So you've got to look at, which I'm not talking about more income. That's not the main driver. Obviously, it will generate more income if you're offering more products. However, it's about the service for the client. And what I mean by that is look at what you can advise on. When you have an abundance and you've got loads of clients, loads of leads coming on, things will slip, such as third-party referrals. Things will slip that you can actually sell. So when you look at protection, you look at general insurance, all the other things that you can earn money on, and check my files, on conveyances, on surveys and things like that, all those will slip because you are so busy. You will focus on the mortgage and nothing else. And I think that has to change in 2023. You will focus on maximizing that opportunity. So it's not just looking at the mortgage. Have you got protection covered? Have you got a process to talk about protection? Have you got a process to talk about general insurance? And it's those things what you need to maximize in 2023. So it's getting more products per client, more pound per client, but ultimately it's a better service for the client. And we're not going to get into consumer duty today, because that will help drive more products per clients. It will if you've got consumer duty right and got it covered and fully understand it. However, we're not going to talk about that today, but it is about maximizing that opportunity to make sure you're covering everything that you can with your client. Once you've got that client within your grasp, when it becomes your client, you've sorted the mortgage out, make sure that you're looking at all the other income streams, of looking at all the opportunities you can to make sure you maximize that potential. So when you look at your third-party referrals, have you got those covered as well? We've talked about Check My File, conveyancers, surveyors. What about utilities? There are firms out there that will help with mortgage brokers who can refer their clients to look at utilities, which you will earn an income from as well, and it's a better service for the client. Also look at estate planning. Have you got somebody that you work with that you know and trust with regards to estate planning? So will, referrals, lasting power of attorneys, and all those things. Again, better service for the client, more products that are offered by you, and again, more income that will be generated per client. So you've got to make sure that you're looking at that side of things as well as equity release, as well as IFAs, financial advising. Have you got every base covered with regards to maximizing products per client and making sure that you're working with trusted third-party referrals who aren't going to poach your client, who aren't going to poach your protection? Because if you don't work with somebody who offers that financial advice or equity release or estate planning, and the client goes out there and looks for that financial advice when they need it, you could be at a risk of getting your client poached and losing a client, which we're not going to get too much delve in today. And it's obviously something we'll talk about on the next point as well, jumping the gun a little bit. But what I'm saying about that is, like I said, point 2 is making sure that you're maximizing the products that you can offer the client as well in order to build that successful business. And so then the last thing is looking at client retention. So again, with regards to client retention, it's making sure that what process have you got to ensure you retain that client? So what does that look like in terms of follow-up, catch-up, contact, some sort of touch point with the client? When you look at from a retention point of view, have you missed something in the past with that client? So have you not talked about wills? Have you not talked about the estate planning? Have you not talked about protection? You were so busy sorting the mortgage out. Have you missed all these other things? And if you have, it's a great time next year to revisit with that client, because when a client, what you don't want to happen is a client has a panic today and thinks, oh, I need to get my will sorted out. They then start Googling estate planners. They start then start talking to that estate planner, that will writer, about their financial service and their need and their estate. Mortgages will come up, protection will come up, which means that you're more likely for that client to get poached, because if that person and that estate planner works with a mortgage broker or a protection advisor, they'll be referring that client, your client, to somebody that they know and trust. So it's about protecting your clients. It's about retaining that client. So making sure you've got a contact strategy. Make sure that you have got a follow-up process with regards to your post-completion as well, clients as well, and making sure that you've maximised every single touch point. So that's about retaining your client. The more contact you have, the more likely you are to retain that client, and making sure that the client knows of all the things that you can talk to about, not just the mortgage broker. They see you as the go-to person for everything. So within financial services, so estate planning, wills, whatever else that they need. If you think about it, within the whole financial services remit, they talk to you about it and don't start looking on Google. So for me, those are the 3 points briefly that we've talked about in order to maximise the opportunity in 2023 and maximise the opportunity in what could be a challenging market. But as I said before, maximising the opportunity, there's less brokers, there is more need for brokers, and lenders want to lend. So just to recap, make sure you're getting more clients, make sure you're offering more products and service, and make sure you're offering more products and a better service to that client, which in turn maximizes income, and make sure you're retaining your clients. So all those clients you've been working hard on for the past 2, 3, 5 years, however long you've been trading, make sure you're contacting them in 2023 with some sort of form of contact strategy. So thanks for listening. And the main thing for me to take away from this is 2023 is going to be a great year for mortgage brokers, but the mortgage brokers that dig deep, got processes nailed, have the drive, persistence, motivation to build a successful mortgage broker business, they will thrive in 2023. Just make sure you're one of them. Thanks for listening. Any topics you want me to talk about, please message in, and I'll see you on the next podcast. Thank you for listening to the Mortgage Broker Broadcast, the podcast which helps mortgage brokers at all stages of their mortgage broking career. If you have any questions about this podcast or any topics you want us to discuss, or if you're interested in working with me further, then please get in touch.